Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the fifth-year quarterback, Jameis Winston, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they square off with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis.
Coach, we are just about set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A few moments ago, they raised the 12th man banner, and this place, as usual, rocking and rolling. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gutton, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
Two teams that came into the NFL together back in 1976. The Seahawks and Bucs are underway. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes Seattle, led by Russell Wilson, who in Week 7 struggled now in his defense in that loss to Baltimore. There was a lot of rain in Seattle, but he was under 50% passing, Charles, 20 of 41, and threw his first interception of the season.
Amazing that it took this long in the NFL to throw an interception, because there's some pretty good ball hawks out there, even when you're a great quarterback. But that was an ugly one, wasn't it? Marcus Peters taking it all the way back, and the Ravens really never looked back from that point on. But listen, every great quarterback has a clunker or two. You and I both know Russell Wilson will get back on the beam and fast.
Now Wilson on first down. He'll buy some time right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Hey, check.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Well, you've told me before, it's great to be an athlete. A lot of great athletes out there. It's good to have instincts, and he has those.
I would take those above athleticism in a lot of cases, because if you know where the ball's going before anyone else can get there and block you, you can make up for a lack of athleticism by being in the right spot at the right time.
And took him down in the backfield with those instincts.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he's got his target. That's more. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis.
Mike 54. Get that quarterback at all costs.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
Now a give, right side. Carson. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. 16 yards, a first down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Wilson's got it complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got it. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. From 8 yards out, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. That time a 9-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bucs now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a guy who cares totally about his team. He will do whatever it takes for a play to be successful and for his team to win. I've seen him become a lead blocker on running plays, even though I'm sure his coaches don't want him anywhere near that pile.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
Peyton Barber had his best year running the football in 2018, and he was 9th in the league last year in rushing attempts. The only issue, yards per carry. Total yards under 900. New head coach Bruce Arians, he believes he can improve his efficiency.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year, but that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Ready? Blue way. 50. Like 50. Who that?
Winston gives to Barber. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by the Seahawks defense. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Working out of the gun, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Quentin Jefferson with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Fourth down, and the Bucs trot out the former 49er Bradley Pinion to punt it. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Possession of the football here changing back over to the Seattle Seahawks, and wanted to revisit their game against Baltimore in Week 7. Where they lost 30-16. Had to be kind of sweet for Earl Thomas against his old team. He led that Baltimore defense, really held the offense of Seattle in check.
They certainly did, and what that usually means is limiting their running game. Chris Carson, who had 3 straight 100-yard games, he was held to 65 yards on, 21 carries. So they didn't get going the way they want to. Seattle's always going to be a run-first, physical-type team. If you're Atlanta, and that's where they're headed next, you better be prepared for a heavy dose of number 32 carrying the football.
Absolutely. And even with that loss, so Seattle's still in a great spot at 5-2. It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, And not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards on the play, first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now it's Carson, and not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The previous play went to the offense with a nice run, but that last play we just saw certainly went to the defense.
So you're keeping a little bit of a ledger there, aren't you?
Tally.
You know, somebody wins, someone loses. But you get the sense offensively, they're continuing to probe around, trying to find the runs that are going to work, and then they'll go to them consistently.
Mike, 45. Here we go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 8.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard stripe.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. The wind is at his back here in the 2nd quarter. And Myers able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Winston and the Bucs take over now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start on the ground with Barber. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Peyton Barber, 74 yards, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now.
Next to score, Seahawks 10.
Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's get the ball.
They run it with Carson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down, 3 down. 3 down, tight.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. William Golston in on the stop.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They go play action with Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Rolling to his right, and he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Green 80. 45. Here we go, G.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, they'll roll him out right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. To throw is Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Wilson now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They come out here in the eye.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's a baby shot.
Now Wilson. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Again, Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, but now it's 3rd and goal.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Myers' kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It's not like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. From the gun, Winston. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Winston leaves it with Barber on the draw. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Winston now to throw on 1st down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. And just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. He's going to have the 1st down past the 20. And he'll take this all the way up to the 38-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. This is Carson. It'll be a gain of 3 on what should be the final play of this first half. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Play fake. Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They go back to the ground, this time Barber. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. In on the tackle there, Bobby Wagner coming off a 3rd straight All-Pro season.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And that had far too much air under it. It's out of the back of the end zone, and the football will come out to the 20-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there, and he's made it easy for us to put together a highlight package. Just wondering what he ate before this one started.
Let's include that in the package, right? Get the gourmet out here, figure it all out, and you're guaranteed he'll do that going forward as well because with a game like this, you don't want to change things too much. Oh, yeah, you also want to continue to get that great blocking he's received today, too.
Yeah, kudos to the guys up front indeed. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Fielded just inside the 20. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Here's Winston. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Give them 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball, outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
They go play action. Winston. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Winston now from the 50. This goes to Barber, the running back. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 on the Seahawks' 49-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, Barber. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
3rd down.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Barber. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Ready? White 25. White 4. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
From the red zone now, Winston. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw is Winston. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll run the draw with Barber. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. To throw, Winston. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Gay's kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Wilson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Jordan Whitehead there defensively.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson to throw again. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
On 1st down, Wilson. And a completion to Wilson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
You got it.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
I'm here all day.
Wilson will throw again. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They go quickly here out to Moore. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
We own them.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
So now Winston and the Bucs down 13-10, a minute 56 to go. Now they need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 1st down Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. Winston to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you've got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Ready? White 25. Mike 50. He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Hang up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now Jameis trying to hurry his crew to the line. Winston. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And this is caught by Evans. And they're going to stop him short of the 1st down as he's tackled at about the 21. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
All square now at 13-all as he sends this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. First throw in overtime now for Wilson. He's going to float this one. And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there in overtime. 44 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing is Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here comes a big one now in overtime. This is 3rd and inches. Here's Carson. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Mike 5-4. Hey, tight.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT.
Touchdown, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.